Good morning. Holy shit, excuse the afro here, boys. Bit of a nice sleep. You know it's a good sleep when you wake up with hair like this. Today's the first day and there is snow on the ground. Haven't seen snow since I landed my first day in Tokyo, and I thought that was going to be how it was the entire trip. Turns out, that's absolutely not the case. My last day yesterday, before I left, felt like freaking summer. I think today, again, will be a bit of a prep day. Just planning. Getting ready for stuff, and then maybe find a cafe and sit down. This freaking thing, man, it may not look like much, but it's actually begun to really help me be productive throughout the day. There's so much that you can do. There's so much going on. For me, I almost feel like a little bit of like an information overload a lot of the time. I'll be walking by restaurants, food, like stores, any kind of stores, game places, arcades, clubs, anything, like literally anything here. And there's just a million different options for everything, and it all looks good. So I start to feel a little bit anxiety just because I'm like, I want to hit everything. Like, I want to make sure that I have my best experience here. But the reality of the fact is you're just never going to do that. Like, especially in Japan, you're not going to get it all done. So the best thing you can do, I think, is, at least for what's been working for me right now, make a list each day or even just for like the week, and do your best to just keep taking shit off, because every little box is starting to give me a little bit of like a dopamine hit, which is fine. That's good. I'm considering this better than fucking Instagram or whatever that shit, because it's actually productive. Like, I'm actually, after I tick that box, that hit is earned. I feel like I've earned that because it's not easy. Opposed to some people think like traveling is just vacation, like all the time. Like, you just show up and everything's awesome and everything works out, and everything's always fun and you always feel safe and you always feel like happy and healthy and everything is going to plan. And it's like, I think most of you guys can just obviously just tell that's just not the case, right? And a lot of you guys have been on the road too. Like, even in very short trips, sometimes shit goes wrong. There's a lot of room for awesomeness, and there's also a lot of room for disaster. But that being said, the list helps me keep things, at least in my head, a bit more manageable, and it kind of takes a little bit of the stress away. With no other factors, I'd say I'm starting to experience a bit of an above average level of just daily, like, day-to-day anxiety. One of the main things that I've used to try to combat that is exercise. You gotta fucking work out, bro. You gotta hit the gym every fucking day. And you gotta hit that shit hard. Ow! You gotta hit it hard enough that you literally are incapable of thinking of anything else while you're in the gym. You have to get to the point where you're running or it could be anything. Strength training, running, fighting, literally any form of sport or anything that's difficult at a physical level will be in turn difficult at an emotional level. And it'll put you in a position where you want to fucking quit and you hate this shit and you do not enjoy it in the moment at all. And the only thing you're thinking about is like, when is this over? When is this over? When is this over? How many more miles do I got? How many more, reps do I got? And that sucks in the moment, but it's really good at getting you out of your head. Like I like to say, it gets you out of your head and into your body. That is a really good way to reduce stress, because it forces your brain to fucking cast off all that other bullshit that you're normally worried about. That really, most of it is, like, I'd say 95% of the stress that I experience on a daily basis is bullshit that is not really necessary. It's just kind of my brain filling in gaps of where my, let's say my primordial self would be fucking hunting, or like trying not to get fucking eaten by a tiger or some shit. Like, that's instead replaced with, oh my gosh, I hope I can get all of the favorite ramen spots that I hope that I would enjoy the most, or like just basic, like, shit like that, right? But after you work out, you actually escaped getting fucking eaten, or you actually got the bull. Like, you shot the elk, you can feed your family. That sense of relief comes from physical exertion, and I think that's just coded into us. Using that going forward, especially if you do that in the morning, that just empties your bullshit tank and you're just ready to just enjoy the day. It's just fucking easier. Oh, you remember like any external stress stressing you out, and then you remember, oh, I killed the bull this morning. I worked out. So you're chill. Anyways, that was a bit of a rant.
Can I just say that convenience stores in Japan have it figured out well past anywhere else I've been. You go get a freaking wrap, heated up, spicy chicken patty,
Spicy chicken.
some thick cut bacon, a coffee for like $9, not even. And you can just eat it in the freaking convenience store. They have like a whole like table set up. There's a view. Nobody's here. It's quiet. It was a perfect place to start your morning.
Just locked in for a couple hours, specifically on just figuring out some shit to do in Sapporo, but more specifically planning my itinerary around Hokkaido. I think I'm gonna move into Otaru for 1 day and then move north to Asahikawa, BA, Furano, that sort of thing. But we'll see. It's still up in the air, but I want to get it booked now to try and save some money, but more importantly to get rid of that stress of like not knowing where you stay, you know? Like sometimes that's fun, whatever, especially if it's like cheap hostels, you can just like throw your shit in, stay the night, but there's a lot of distance between spots, so if I want to be smart about moving around and not waste time, it's a good thing to plan ahead of time. But now we're on our way to Nigiri Meshi, which is I think it's a takeout sushi spot, I don't know, but it was recommended by one of the girls at the hostel, which is actually right here, so we're gonna go check it out.
Nigiri meshi is means like, it's actually like rice balls. So onigiri, which I thought was what this is, which it is actually a term that comes from nigiri meshi, which is like the original term. But it's just like onigiri, which you find at konbini everywhere, but it's like legit restaurant style. So you got a nice ice cream tea with it. Let's give it a try. This one's a shrimp. That's really good. Wow, that's really good. This is just onigiri, what you're used to in a convenience store or in the West, but hot and like it's sweet and salty. Wow, that's really good. And it's not like front loaded like at the convenience stores. Like you get literally, it could be this size and you get like one little, if it's shrimp, like you get one little shrimp tail, whereas this is like, it's a full thing shrimp.
Good job, team.
Oh, she does. I'm gonna come back here instead. If I ever want to go get a convenience store onigiri, fuck that. I'm going here instead.